For more, let's bring in Texas Congressman and Chairman of the House Small Business Committee, Roger Williams. It's good to see you, sir, as always.
All right.
We've heard Speaker Johnson wants to tie the SAVE Act to the upcoming overspending bill, but will he actually do it, sir? What are you hearing?
I think he will do it. I think actually they're going to whip it tonight when we get on the House floor on what kind of support it has. This is kind of a unique position that we're all in because we got the election coming up November 5th. The government, like you said, notes are due, if you want to look at that way, on September 30th. We got the SAVE Act, which reinforces what the Constitution says, that if you're a citizen, you can vote. If you're not, you can't vote. So we're tying all that in together. I think he's trying to put the Democrats on notice and put them in a real spot that therefore illegals voting.
Yeah, well, yes, they are, and it may very well do that. But, Chairman, your colleague, Arizona Congressman Andy Biggs, told me last week that this voting bill won't be enacted before the election. Watch.
Do you think the SAVE Act, by the time, if all things worked the way we're talking about and it actually went into effect, the question is, will it impact this 2024 election? The odds are no, because you're going to have states that are already voting with early ballots. Mm-hmm. It's nuts. And what does a 6-month CR do for you? It brings another $1.25 trillion in structural deficit, which will go right on top of your national debt. And everybody will wash their hands and go say, look what we did. Look what we did.
Well, so, Mr. Chairman, do you think the broader point I think he was trying to drive at is wouldn't it be more useful to get some spending cuts from all this massive overspending to rein in this rampant government rather than a voting bill that will not impact the 2024 election?
Well, Andy's one of my buddies, and he's right. I mean, but, and I'm not a CR guy. And because when you go a CR, you spend what you spent last time, and it creates the deficiency. But I want to take a look at all options tonight and see, because I think we have to really be careful. November 5th is what we should have on our target list right now. We've got to win this race. We don't need to give anybody any reason that might be thinking about voting for Donald Trump to not do it for a reason that they may disagree with. So I want to take a look at whether the CR with SAVE is okay or not. We'll take a look and see what happens. But I don't want to take my eyeball off November 5th. It's very important we win this race.
Well, Chairman, Kamala Harris is proposing new small business tax laws that she says will expand tax credits, but simultaneously raising taxes on individuals and corporations. How is going to increasing taxes on Americans help their pocketbooks?
Well, it doesn't. But you got to understand, Kamala Harris thinks we're all minions. She thinks we're stupid. And I can tell you, Main Street America doesn't want her handouts. Main Street America wants less regulations, less tax, so they can invest and to create risk and get reward. That's what built this country. That's what I stand for every day. I'm up here as chairman of the committee. So whatever she's going to have a hard time explaining tomorrow night, I'm looking forward to her trying to explain the economy and free markets and competition and entrepreneurship to Donald Trump. I think she's going to have a hard time doing it. But giving money to Main Street America doesn't make Main Street make America. It just increases prices all the time. Main Street wants taxes lowered so they can create their own cash flow.
Yeah, Congressman, I've only got about 30 seconds left, but I heard some crazy statistic, and maybe you have it at the ready, but it was something like $500 billion a year these Democrat regulations place on businesses just to get their products to market, and that's passed on to our people, is it not?
It is, and it's actually $1.73 trillion of regulations Main Street's had put on since the Biden administration, and it takes 220 million man-hours to try to offset the regulations. So it's impossible. Business gets small, business gets owned by the government, and now you have socialism working. That's what they're all about. They're socialists and Marxists. That's what they're trying to sell us.
Yeah, and it is a non-starter for many of us. Chairman Roger Williams, thank you, sir. Appreciate the time as always.